Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Leveraging Up, your voice, your story, your impact. My name's Mamie Lamley, and today I have an amazing guest, Mel Cunningham from Now and Zenergy. Yeah, you better lean in, guys. That's an amazing business name, Zenergy. Let's find out from Mel. What is Now and Zenergy all about? And how did you, Mel, get inspired to do what you do?
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here. So I got inspired. My business came from my personal journey. And I love the name Now and Zenergy. And I know a lot of times people are like, what does this even mean? And so a little history of I come from corporate America. I was burnt out, stressed, overwhelmed, and literally my life came crashing down. I lost my business. I lost my job. I lost my relationship. My health completely suffered. I was actually in bed for 3 months, and I went to traditional medicine, and the response I got was, "Hey, you just need a vacation. You just need to take a break, take a nap, and everything will be good." And I just knew deep down that there was something else there. And so as I was going through this journey and just realizing, I mean, I tried everything. I tried all the therapies. I tried all of the self-help. I tried, wine, shopping, all of those things. And finally, one day, I realized it's not about doing something. It's about becoming who I'm supposed to be. And it's about really looking at the inside, the internal. And so that's when I started to venture out into the holistic, the alternative methods of healing. And it literally changed my life. So the exact methods and the exact things that I use in my business to help clients reclaim their life are the things that help me reclaim my life. So today I lead a completely different life than I led then. And I actually love my life now. I actually enjoy my life. And I realized back then, I felt like I was doing what I should do. And when I started to take back my power, everything changed for me.
Wow, that's really powerful, Mel. Doing versus purpose and the journey that you've taken to where you are today. Wow. It takes courage to do that. And what I'd like you to do is just tell us a little bit more about, you went from this perspective, this point to where you're at today. What happened in between? And I'd like you to share because our listeners could benefit from that journey.
Yeah, it is. I always say it was a journey of self-discovery, right? Because so often we live in this world of, everyone's telling us what to do. Or like if you are stressed, like I said, take a vacation, everything will be fine. And what I learned was I had to figure out who I was because I literally was living my life on autopilot. I was waking up in the morning, the alarm would go off, I'd hit it the ground running. I was leading a very successful life. I was achieving a lot. I was doing a lot. And honestly, at the end of the week, I had no idea what I had done. And so for me, it was really coming back to who I was and how did I want to live. And one of the biggest things that shifted for me is really doing the work on the emotional baggage. And, we all have emotional baggage. And when we can actually identify that and acknowledge it and say, hey, this is a piece of me, this isn't who I am, and be able to release that and clear that, then your true self comes out. And then the other big thing that really was impactful for me is I started implementing rituals and things that I would do to take care of myself. Because one of the biggest things that happen when we're stressed or overwhelmed and we're trying to fit in all the things, we literally put ourselves on the back burner. And that's what I did. I mean, looking back, I sat there and I was like, everyone kept telling me, you need to take care of yourself. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I was like, no, I don't have time for that. And so one of the biggest daily things that shifted for me was meditation. And if I could tell anybody anything that will literally change your life is if you do find a meditation program that works for you. Because honestly, I had tried meditating multiple times and I would I really wasn't finding anything that would work for me. And I was like, oh, I can't meditate, right? Because oftentimes we say, I can't meditate. And really what I found is, try it and find the one that works for you. Find the one that resonates with you, because there's so many different ways to meditate. And literally, I know for a fact that is what started that shift and that change for me. And from that point on, I've meditated every single day. And one of the things that happens with that meditation is we're creating those new neural pathways, and we're actually being able to find and being able to come home to ourselves, right? And we're able to quiet the noise, that external noise, and we're able to be, true to ourselves and be able to have that clarity and that confidence to lead the life that we desire.
Wow, Mel, you brought up some amazing points for our listeners. You talked about rituals, you talked about meditation, you talked about finding yourself and the purpose in life. If you could look back on your life and you could pinpoint a lesson that you actually said, this lesson really made an impact, what would that lesson be? And how are you integrating it into your life today?
That's a great question. And I think for me, looking back at the breakdown, as I call it, while I was in it, it was not fun. It was not great. And I also look at it, it was the best thing that could have happened to me, because with that, my life changed. But with it was, I was actually able to see what was out of balance with my life. And it wasn't a matter of if something was going to happen, it was just a matter of when. And so for me, I say the biggest lesson is, when you're getting those nudges, when you're getting those feelings, listen and lean into it. And I get it, because it's scary. And trust me, when I reflect back, I had so many moments where if I would have just paused and said, hey, let's take a look at this, I wouldn't have crashed and burned. But then I also say, if I hadn't crashed and burned, it wouldn't have sent me down this trajectory, right? And so again, I feel like everything happens for a reason. And that is what I'm so passionate about when I work with my clients is, when we can come and we can start connecting with our internal self, we can start listening and we can start hearing that, because we all hear those things. We all know that, we hear it. And we just feel like, well, it's not really something we have to deal with right now. And so by being able to, put the rituals in place and being able to really connect with ourselves, and it's scary to connect with ourselves, because it's so much easier just to run on autopilot and to just be like, let everyone else let us know and say, hey, this is what we should be doing. Everyone else is doing this, so I should be doing this. But I look back at that, and like I said, my life literally crashed and burned. I lost everything. And from that, I became who I was. And from that was my journey of this business. And so I don't think I would be here today helping others had it not been that personal experience that took me down that pathway. And now I can help others see that, whether they are, honestly, I would love to help people not get to the crash and burn, but sometimes I think we have to crash and burn so that we can, to see that. And so that's why I'm so passionate of helping people understand that you don't have to struggle. You don't have to feel like you're not achieving or doing, or you're feeling like somebody else has told you what you should be doing and you're not doing it. You have that power within you. And when we can get in that calm state and we can start listening to ourselves, it's amazing, that information that comes, and then your life will change.
Absolutely. You gave us so many amazing nuggets, Mel. And I would love to continue this conversation on a longer podcast. So if it's okay with you, can I call you later?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. So Mel, we're going to say goodbye for now. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before? Oh, actually, I do. How do they get in touch with you?
Thank you. So I am on all the socials. My handle is Now and Zenergy. My website is melcunningham.com. And really the last thing I want to just mention is, I want to remind everyone that you do have the power within you and you are the creator, and you don't have to struggle and you don't have to pick and choose because you can actually create the life that you desire.
I'm going to take that and I'm going to say, I am the creator. So thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, Mel. And for those listeners out there, we'll be posting all of Mel's information so you can make that connection. I'm going to say thank you once again, Mel, because the golden nuggets that you've given us can make a difference for someone out there listening to us today. All right, guys. Have an amazing day. It's Leveraging Up. It's about your voice, your story, your impact. And I'm so happy that Mel took the time to give us the story. And not only the story, but the direction that we can be on a journey so that we can be healthy and know the choices that we make makes us a stronger person. Thank you so much, Mel.